Okay, today on the Casady Stamps podcast, Twitch discontinued chat rooms. That's literally all I have for the news. The feedback for the chat rooms was bad, apparently, and the usage was also low. The alternatives they listed were sub-only chat as the alternative for subscriber-only rooms, and whispers for mod-only rooms. Now here's the thing. Subscriber-only chat rooms were so that you wouldn't have to use subscriber-only chat. And, oh look at that, my light dispersal unit is off. My bucket is off. Anyways, yeah. Whispers can only go to one moderator at a time. They have to manually send it out to every single moderator they want to talk to. I have reached out to Twitch about it, thanks to their ability to contact customer support. But as of recording this, I do not believe they have responded yet. In fact, I only have an auto response. This is an auto response from Twitch to let you know that we are working on your case. Redacted. We look forward to resolving this for you quickly. I literally just asked a question. I believe that is all for that topic, because there is no other news that I found.
Advice from Casady Stamps.
And now for advice from Casady Stamps. Advice from Casady Stamps. A lot of YouTubers you watch probably use the Blue Yeti, SM7B, Bluebird, or other popular mic. A lot of them use it because it's industry standard. However, here's what I have to say about using a microphone simply because it is industry standard. Don't do that. That is not what you're supposed to do. Instead, use what works for you. For example, my daily driver is the Sennheiser E835. That's what works for me. And also use what works for you and is within your budget. Yeah, the Sennheiser E835 also was within my budget when I got it. Don't get, for example, I don't know, a Neumann U87 if you can't afford it, which you most likely can't, considering it's what, $3,600? Actually, don't even get, for example, a Sennheiser E835 if you can't afford that. The Behringer XM8500, I think it's called, is a cheap mic for only $20. And pair that with the Behringer UM2, a cheap interface, and you've got a pretty good setup. There's also this microphone called the Shure SM48. That is also a cheap microphone, though I do not believe it is as cheap as the Behringer XM8500. Shure SM48 costs about $62 for the LC version. That means the cable is not included. However, don't make the same mistake that this one guy made. Don't buy the SM7B, an XLR cable, a phantom power supply unit, an XLR to 3.5mm TRS cable, and Sabrent sound card. First of all, the phantom power supply unit, that is useless. It's useless with the SM7B unless the Cloud Lifter, Fathead, SE Dynamite, Durham Cathedral pipes, or something similar with clean gain, not one of those like Altron Cloud Lifter ripoffs, unless one of those is installed. As the SM7B is a dynamic microphone, it is a dyne. The Sabrent sound card has no gain. Absolutely no gain whatsoever. Absolutely no gain. Yikes! I forgot to turn that off. Yeah, And Windows on its own can't really drive the SM7B. I mean, you could try doing the gain effect in your OBS or slobs or whatever, but here's the thing. It won't necessarily be very good because it is all done by software, and the software preamps your computer has probably aren't very good. But do not ever pay for recording software or streaming software, because OBS is free, slobs and OBS.live are also free, and really, there's not really anything better than those. I mean, there is this program called Fraps, but really, the file sizes are huge. I call it Craps because it's not very good. Also, it is discontinued. It has not had updates in a very, very long time. And also, the file sizes are huge because the footage is either completely uncompressed or very lightly compressed. You can have lossless compression, completely lossless compression, without it being completely uncompressed. So I don't see the point of that. Now, most of the time, OBS and slobs will output to MP4, probably in H.264 format. Also, don't pay for editing software when starting out. I mean, it would probably be a good idea to pay for it when you're not starting out, when you're into it. Shotcut, the program I use, is free, open source, and fairly professional. Now here's a big one. For gamers, don't game on a laptop. An even bigger one for gamers, don't game on a Mac. Mac OS X is not meant for gaming. Gaming companies also don't really support Mac all that well. Actually, Ubisoft actually completely dropped support for Mac OS X. But anyways, don't use other people's content to get views. You want your people to watch you for you, not other people. You want your viewers to watch your content for you. Anyways, that's all the advice I have for today.
This is YouTuber's personal. That's YouTuber's personal, everyone.
Now it's time for YouTuber's personal, because this is YouTuber's personal. Yeah, unless you're really lucky. Growth is often slow at the beginning, like really slow. I mean, generally you're not going to promote your channel at the beginning, because usually channel promotion requires payment because it's a form of advertisement. And yeah, you generally have to pay to advertise. Paying to advertise is basically paying to make content. But then again, when you advertise, you almost 100% certainly are selling something and not giving away something for free, because that would be stupid. You also will make everything yourself, usually on free software, unless you are not responsible for your finances, you're a minor, and you have a parent pay for your stuff. Generally, everything's going to be free. Your content would probably not be the best, and you probably aren't using even a $100 microphone. Heck, to be honest, you're probably using the built-in microphone on a laptop. Of course, my dad has never owned a laptop. I don't own a laptop, and we have never had any all-in-ones. All-in-ones also generally have built-in microphones. However, tower computers don't. If you have one of those, you're probably just going to use an El Cheapo microphone. I mean, if you have a parent that can take old stuff home from work, they might be able to get a microphone home from work. I remember We had 2 of those microphones. One of them did not last very long. The other one was dead on arrival. It was taken home from Dad's work. But also, YouTube is huge! And watch time is hard to gain with a tiny audience. And watch time is how they recommend you. I've been going since, I believe I published my first video in 2015, if I am remembering correctly. Or maybe it was 2016, but either way. The date you see on my main channel, that's wrong. Because that is not when I put out my first video. However, I only really started to put out content in July of 2018 when I started streaming because I got OBS. Which is actually what I'm using right now to record this. Okay, sorry for that sudden cut. My mom interrupted me, which I did not give permission for, but anyways. I decided to make everything original. I did not reuse content. Besides, reusing content generally cannot be monetized. And if I want to be a partner one day, I probably should not do that. But I made content, all the music. There is some music you see in the videos that aren't original. The game music definitely is not mine. There is some music I used from the WeVideo library that is not original. My editing is all done by me. I do not, I don't know, have my brother do it. I mean, I definitely would not hire a professional to do it, considering I don't make any money off of this. Although, streaming helps, even if you're the only one watching, because YouTube does count your views as watch time. After all, it's time being watched. That helps their platform as well. Also, 100 subscribers is imminent on my main channel. And this has been YouTuber's Personal. But anyways, I have to go because the furnace is kicked on.
Personal segment. This is it.
Okay, and welcome to the personal segment of my podcast. Yay! On Thursday. The Thursday before last Monday, when this releases. When this releases would be this Monday. But on Thursday, I saw a sidewalk sweeper labeled Green Machines. On Wednesday, the day before that, we actually had the furnace inspected. Apparently, the igniter for the furnace is actually just a piece of metal that gets hot. And once it gets hot enough, the gas starts coming out. Or I would suppose actually just before then. It actually has 4 burners. 4. I was not expecting that. The flame sensor is on the opposite side to the igniter, and it was extremely dusty inside, but the worst part, the humidifier filter was, and that's past tense, was extremely disgusting. It's working well. After all, it's only 7 years old. That's actually pretty old, actually. One of the days in college, the lights actually flickered. A friend of mine got her driver's license. Actually, on the Monday of the podcast. Last one. Speaking of which, I'm practicing actual driving, and I'm getting way better. I mean, my driveway is pretty easy, but the street directly outside of it, that is hell. One of those days, I think it may have been Tuesday, but I could be mistaken. The bus stopped short on the way to college. The bus coming home was late. Now, nothing against the bus company. It's just, come on, bus manufacturers, can't you install a little better safety? I mean, seatbelts would probably get vandalized like that, but can't you install a little better safety stuff? I also got featured in the Bandrew Says podcast.
The audio submission from xHades. Take it away, bud.
Okay, hello, this is Hades Stamps, and I have a question. When you edit videos, how do you not get burned out on editing? Because that is a problem I have. Not really that big of a deal. That was my voice burnt out, but it is still a problem I have. Anyways, thank you. Yeah, it was my voice submission.
What a wonderful, wonderful question.
You'll have to watch his podcast, though, to see his answer. Anyways, I managed to take it to my channel page. We are getting closer to Thanksgiving in the US. The bathroom renovation is going well-ish. The drywall did adhere. The tiles obviously adhered. The wall came off well. The fake wall came off easily. And that's pretty much all we have on it. That I can think of anyway. Anyways, yeah, you may have noticed that last week that I had made new theme songs. And yes, they were recorded by me. That was my voice. The instrumentation was also me on YouTuber's Personal. All except one were multi-track and acapella. The one that was not was single track and accompanied. I mean, the Ask Us Hades Sounds theme was the first one recorded. It was acapella with harmonies, so multi-track. On all of these, I had to get the gain adjusted a lot because that is a problem with multi-tracking. The personal theme, I believe it's the second one recorded. It was acapella with vocal accompaniment, which I like to call accompanied acapella because, you know, YouTuber's Personal, I believe, was the third one recorded. It was single track and accompanied by me on the ukulele, which I connected directly to the interface, making it sound like it was coming from an old crappy tin radio. The mic was directly in front of my mouth, which caused the ukulele to be picked up mainly by connecting it to the audio interface, but also a little bit by the microphone. And yeah, the ukulele did sound like it was coming out of a cheap radio, which was on purpose. The advice from Hades Stam's theme was acapella with 4-part harmony, and it was SATB, the standard 4-part. It was the last one I recorded. The high parts required me to lean back and handhold my Sennheiser microphone, this guy. And then the theme song that I've been using for a long time, the Hades Stam's theme song, it is my oldest theme song, existed long before the series. It was made on Beatbox Classic, which you would know that was a fair while ago. I was a junior in high school. It's 8-bit, a chiptune, and the sound of the NES. There were only four tracks, 3 music tracks, the tone-based tracks, and 1 percussion track available. Whereas nowadays there are 8, 6 tone-based tracks and 2 percussion tracks. And it was chip only back then. I'm currently working on an original song for Christmas. And that's all I'm going to tell you about it, because I don't want it copyrighted before I can publish it. The fire alarm system in college is actually what I like to call a conglomeration. It contains a lot. For example, the Spectra Alert Classic, new Spectra Alert units, Wheelock bell strobes, etc., etc. Some of them even include a light and not a strobe. One of them is a federal signal strobe. Yeah. And it looks like that is about it for the personal segment. And final point. This guy right here. Oops, sorry, tapped it. This is the Behringer B1 microphone. I'm testing it out. It is a condenser microphone, and it is side address, which is why I'm speaking into it like this, and not like this. Crap. And not like this, because that will sound terrible. But yeah, it is a side address microphone. But anyways, this has been Hades Stamps. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.